Hi, welcome to Casting Glass with Fig. Today, I'm going to show you this glass casting of a Trilobite that I made. It all started in a class that I taught earlier in 2024, and a student of mine came in, Roberto, and Roberto is an engineer, and he was able to print up this plastic Trilobite because he knows how much I love Trilobites. Since he was an engineer and is able to print out these kinds of things, he gifted it to me. I had no idea that was going to happen. It was so cool. And I was like, wow, I can make that into glass and use it in my art. So the first thing I did was I pulled an alginate mold out of this. An alginate is basically this product made out of seaweed, I guess. And from that, I was able to pull waxes. I almost showed you this wax because it's about the same color. It's a very soft wax. From this wax, I was able to then pull another mold out of a different product called silicon. And here I could show you the silicon mold. That's a silicon mold. And from that silicon mold, I could pull multiples waxes just like this one. Here's a different kind of wax. It's a more stiff kind of wax, but I can pull out many copies of this silicon wax. I also was able to sinter glass powder into this, basically packed it full of moist glass powder and let it freeze. And then I was able to pop it out just like you would pop out a pail of sand at the beach and be left with the shape of the pail. I was left with the shape of my Trilobite, which I then put in my oven and I baked. The advantage of using the silicon is that it's a very durable product. It gives me multiple pulls of wax and freeze and fuses and plasters without very little degradation. My first mold that I used was an alginate, and the advantage of the alginate is it's a much cheaper material to use. The silicone's kind of expensive. That silicone I just showed you is probably close to $80 with this blob of silicon, considerably less. The advantage to using the silicone, not only being, the advantage to using the alginate is not only is it cheaper, but it also shrinks when it dries out. So what I was able to do was take my original alginate, let it freeze up, and then I was able to pull a plaster of Paris miniature of this Trilobite. And from that I was able to make another alginate from that plaster of Paris, which sadly broke up so I can't show you. And from that I was able to pull this miniature version of wax. I'm going to finish cleaning up this wax, and then I'll be able to make a silicon mold of that and then have a more permanent mold of the smaller version. So basically I'm just making molds of molds.